Actually, okay, so everyone, she's talking about the poem that I wrote when I first started the Contraband Wagon. I commissioned an animation to go over, to go with it from a guy from
You gotta
Fiverr.
go on his YouTube channel and see it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, check it out, Contraband of Race War. And I want to hear your reflections on it, like Simma. We didn't really get into any detail. You said you loved it, but I would love to hear any feedback that you have about it in general. Like, it doesn't have to be specific, but like, I would love to hear your general, like, thoughts on it.
Well, you know what I loved about it? That you talked about you the examples of the contradictions around race and the contradictions in our society, in our history. And then you would say, I'm perplexed. Because what it does is it makes people think. Because you point out the contradictions. All I really liked it. And of course, the graphics are so amazing. And you go through like all the years of like growing up, like the different stages of because what was the one that was, and there was one part we talked about something that was really recent. Was it about George Floyd? I can't remember.
I,
And I just remember it was. I said, "Oh man, this is so good," because you take people on a journey. Plus, you're a really good poet.
well, I
I
was
assume
I
you wrote
was an
more than one
English
poem.
major in undergrad, so
Oh,
yeah,
as well as a mathlete.
that's right. Masters in math education, bachelor's in English, creative writing.
Contraband teaches math. If anybody needs tutoring,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've got tons of private clients. One of them texted me right now, actually. So that, yeah, like, thank you so much for sharing that. I did want to point out the contradictions, and these are contradictions that are not just in a poem. These are contradictions that existed in my actual life, that I experienced, that gave me cognitive dissonance that I had to wrestle with and make sense of. And I just wanted to share that with other people to make sure that, to get people to realize that it's something that anyone who is born in the United States or any other white supremacist nation is going to end up having to do. You're going to end up encountering these cognitive dissonances. You're going to end up being like, hey, like, I've experienced this, but people are telling me that, because that's the place that we exist in. That's the place that we live in, is a place full of contradictions in the race context, because that is how this country was made. And so it's just, there's a lot of unraveling that has to happen, and we have to give people grace as they do that unraveling, because it's really no one's fault. I mean, at a certain point, people do need to take responsibility. I'm not taking away any kind of accountability from people. I'm just saying, like, we can't be mad at people for being ignorant in a society that breeds ignorant people. Like, we 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 have to understand that, like, that is a thing that's going to happen as long as our society exists the way that it does. If we want to change the society, we have to do it with all of us, like you said. And in order to get all of us, we have to communicate, and we have to do it with respect and with preserving people's human dignity.